Neither here presenting the week 3 battle versus the exception. Well, thankfully the Tampa Bay Luxrays. I'm recording this after the fact that after the battle, cause well I had a really bad headache when we actually did this battle, so let's just get into it. First thing I noticed leads up with the Mega Pincer. I left with my Pangoro. Like, nothing too suspicious there. However, if you've seen the team builder, you see why this Pangoro is special. So, he Mega evolves. Use Sword Dance. I go for Fire Punch, because I didn't have Rock Slide on the set. That does over half. Thinking he's... oh, I'm gonna get a free kill. You don't. And I, since I'm fully sacked, I get a free kill. Isn't that beautiful? Beautiful free kill. And he sets up Stealth Rocks. I'm like, okay. Honestly, later on when I found out when I was battling this Skarmory, it had no attacking moves. I was like, okay. I don't remember all its moves. I do remember it was Stealth Rocks, Roost, Whirlwind. Don't remember the last move. I don't remember if it was the Fog or not. Whirlwinds me out into, sadly, Volcanion. And I was not too happy about that. Because, my god, rocks hurt. Now, I could definitely say this. If I didn't have rocks on, if the rocks weren't there, Volcanion would never be taking damage. Ever. I went for Steam Eruption because, well, it was the most neutral thing. And I know if Rotom come in, chance it could have gotten burned, or it would take a good chunk. And it did take a good chunk. And expecting the Thunder Bolt, which I knew it was. Just a set I didn't know. I didn't know if it was lefties, I didn't know if it was scarfed. And then we find out why. He was expecting me to go back. I knock him off, find out what city was. Life Orb. So, doing that, I switch out into Goodra. Roll 34. So nasty. Hydro Pumps me. Which hits. Which literally does nothing. Then he switches into the Florges, which I Sludge Waved that turn, which I was so happy I did. Like, I didn't, poison it, which kind of sucked. I'm like, let's just Sludge Wave again. Since he does enough. And he Moonblasted me that turn. Which, I ate, pretty much. But then my special attack drops, and I wasn't very happy about that one. I switch out because I'm pretty sure another Moonblast would have killed me, and even a -1 Sludge Wave would not kill him. And here comes the Iron God, also known as Metagross. Sadly, he used Synthesis that turn, and I fucked up majorly. He withdrew his Florges into Skarmory. I was going for Zen Headbutt, so yeah, obviously. For some reason, he didn't take very much damage. This is my guess. He was completely defense invested. And honestly, this match was really long. Like, we kept switching out. We're like, oh my god, this is taking forever. I Thunder Punch him. Imagine, that was a crit. It didn't do anything. It didn't even say super effective for some reason. Even though technically it is. Like the game just like glitched, like saying, nope, it's not super effective. And I Thunder Punch the Sableye, it gets paralyzed, but you know, we all know it has Prankster. And I found out it had Rocky Helmet. I was like, shit. Then he willows me, I'm like, shit again. Hoping I was like hoping the paralyzed hack stayed. I just rock slided him. And that did a lot less. Not plus to mention I wanted to avoid rock damage. So I just went Bullet Punch because it's stab. Doesn't even KO it. I'm like, that willow like really dumped it down. So I'm like, okay, so either we A, swap out, or B, go for another Bullet Punch. Obviously I swapped out. Seeing that Sableye was either A, gonna knock me off, or B, Shadow Ball. So I'm like, let's just swap out, see what happens. I'm a man, the male Gardevoir. We trace its Prankster. That obviously doesn't do anything. We Mega Evolve. That is why on earth not. He willows me. Like, it wasn't super important, but you're gonna see why after it was. He KO'd the Sableye. Like, you know, oh, now we're 6 and 2, 6 and 4. I'm feeling a bit better. And this is where that burned mattered. Blaziken Poison Jabs me. I Hyper Voice. Almost killing it. And the burn killed me. Honestly, it would have killed me regardless since that Blaziken still outsped me. As I found out later, it was Choice Scarfed. And this is where you start seeing stuff, you know, go downhill. In fact, I should actually remove some of these. No, that Blaziken stayed. That stayed. That died. And that died. For me, nothing died yet. Just everyone. Oh, the only thing I did die was the Gardevoir, which is over here. The Gardevoir died. Okay, Whirlwinds me, which doesn't really matter. But then Volcania goes back out again, which kind of fucking sucks. For some reason it's always going into my Volcanion, and I'm not happy about it. Funny thing is, on this Volcanion I actually had Flare Blitz, so I was like, oh god. And funny enough, I predict that this thing was coming in again, so I just click Fudge Bomb. And funny enough, it paralyzes. Very, very, very funny that it would paralyze it. Well, not paralyze, poison it. Yeah. My English is so bad today. It uses aromatherapy. I'm like, okay. I want to avoid more poison damage. If I clicked Steam Eruption that turn, I hit. I was like, okay. Even if I click Fudge Bomb again, there's no guarantee. I'm like, I was hoping for the burn, because I knew the burn would have killed it. Because 12%, that would have definitely KO'd that damn thing. So I was like, okay, it's gonna heal. Let's just Fudge Bomb again. That's what I did. Fudge Bomb. And this is where I made a mistake. This is where I made the world's biggest mistake. It going off and setting off an energy ball. And my Steam Eruption miss. Mind you, I've only missed one out of, I don't even know how many of these. Probably like 6 or 8. Between 6 or 8. So I was like, okay. One miss. And then he heals, I'm like, he could have just KO'd me. Like honestly, he could have just KO'd me and I still kept that thing. But no, he chose to almost let it die. What I found interesting is that the fact that this thing outsped me. Like, why did this thing outspeed me? He Moonblasts, I'm like, that's resisted. Even that wouldn't kill me. And plus I had an assault vest, so obviously it was not gonna kill me. So, ended that thing's life with Fudge Bomb. And this is where everything almost went wrong. Volcanion dies to superpower. Like the Volcanion gone now, right? Because of superpower. Now we send Goodra in. I'm like, okay. -1 attack. Still kills me even with investments. I even did the math. Like, okay, I'll lower speed at least, but I'm like, oh crap, he's gonna switch out anyway. So I'm like, I don't have many options here. I have pretty much all my Pokemon are dead except Sandslash. Except Sandslash can only hit 1 for super effective damage. Yeah, he sends in Signals, I'm like, ah, great. I was like, just Bullet Punch, and like, I'll get some damage off. Like, literally, he healed more than what I did on that turn. And that was upsetting. And my Metagross, just nice to burn. So that's another one dead. And this is pretty much where the game got a little weird. I'm like, okay, what can I do for this? What can I do against this thing? I knock it off to see what the fuck. Get rid of that stupid leftovers. He whirlwinds me. I don't know why. And then I found out that it was like I was like, why did on earth would he whirlwind me? Apparently he didn't have Brave Bird or Iron Head. And honestly, that somewhat fucked me over. And this is where the game got weird. Again, because remember when that Thunder Punch didn't do super effective damage? Now apparently, this Drain Punch did. Look how much that fucking did. It literally healed me for almost all my health. Honestly, if I click Fire Punch, I still wouldn't think I would have killed. Honestly, the fact that that thing had Roost fucked me over. If it didn't have Roost, it would have been dead. It would have probably been... Because honestly, at this point, I was like completely fucked. I had nothing to do. Like literally, the only move that was neutral against this thing was Knock Off. I'm like, I'll click Rapid Spin. Like, I'll set up my own rocks. After, I'm like, this was just so long and aggravating. I was like, there is no point to this. Like, honestly, there is no victor at this point. We were just stalling. Like, he had defog, I'm like, ah, crap. Like, as soon as I saw the defog and the roost, I'm like, ah, crap. I'm just gonna get out bulked here. And there was nothing I would have been able to do. So sad. Not much I can do about it, though. Then he sends in the Rotom. I click Knockoff, because this is the only move that had neutral on it. The worst part was, he got off the Hydro Pump and I die. So there goes my Sandslash. And I send in my Pangoro. Worst part was here, he didn't get a Hydro Pump miss. And that leaves me lose. 3-0 versus at the exception. But to be fair, we could have won either way. Honestly, if his Sableye didn't burn my Metagross, outcome may have been different. May. Not to also mention if I had more defense. Not to also mention if I had more defense investment in my Goodra, we probably would have lived the Blaziken hit and taken it out, leading it to, well, pretty much the Rotom Wash and the Skarmory, which I had nothing for. Honestly, if we definitely had more defense investment, like max defense and like little to special attack, that Blaziken would be dead. That Skarmory would possibly also be dead. Because that Rotom Wash would have done nothing to the Goodra, sadly, for that thing. but I don't know what the Sableye. Like I was carrying Fire Blast on my Goodra, but there was no guarantee I was gonna overkill. I was gonna kill it or hit. So GG. Exception, honestly. He pretty much outplayed me. Like we were both really prepared for this. Honestly, like when I originally battled him, I only got one thing wrong, and that was the Florges. So I thought it would bring Regice. And honestly, he actually thought I was gonna bring Thundurus, but I ended up bringing maybe Gardevoir instead. Like I asked him why he didn't bring it, because a lot of physical attackers. Meh. I asked him why he didn't bring, well, it was Regice. He asked me why I didn't bring Thundurus, because of rocks, and because of, that Blaziken, and also the Regice. So, yeah. Till then, guys, bye-bye. Till week 3. Well, till week 4, which is, we got a little news today, so I'll explain that on the next team builder, so have fun with that. Bye!